everyone, this is Kate Kennedy, and I am here again on the Kane radio station Facebook Live to do our fourth week of Leek Week Stories. And this week we hear from you. And we started off this morning with Michelle Palmer and heard from her and some of her community center friends. And tonight it's Wednesday, so obviously I had to come to the depot. So later on tonight we're going to do some Leek Week history with the depot, the Historic Society. But before that, we're going to talk to Phil Lingenfelter, who was called in by the depot to share some of his experiences and some of his information, because he has a long history of digging leeks and using leeks, and he really truly loves leeks. So I'm going to go ahead and flip you around. We're going to talk to our leek expert over here, Phil. Hey, how are you, Phil?
Oh, just fine. And you?
I'm good, thanks. Hey, thanks so much for coming up tonight.
No problem.
You kind of were called on the last minute there. What were you doing about half an hour ago?
I was sitting in my chair with my leisure pants on, watching TV.
Yeah, lounging.
Lounging.
And then you get a phone call from Bob.
Yep, and he says, "Get up here to the depot. We need somebody that knows a little something about leeks."
And that's you. You know something about leeks,
Yeah,
huh?
I know quite a bit, yeah.
So you were not born in Kane.
No.
You grew up in where?
In Emporium.
Okay, when did you move to our town?
In 2002.
Okay, so before you even moved here, then you had a connection with leeks.
Oh, my, yes.
When did you start?
Oh, when I was just a little kid.
Yeah.
My dad had me out in the woods teaching me all there is to know about leeks.
Yeah, so your dad knew about them, he brought you out there. And from what we were talking about before, it sounds like it was really a family affair.
Pretty much.
All ages.
Yeah, well, mostly just me and my dad.
And occasionally, you were saying your great uncle
Yeah.
would come out with you sometimes.
Yeah.
87 years old.
Yeah.
That's quite a memory. What
Yeah.
good times.
Yeah.
Some stories you can't share online, huh?
No, I
Well, those are the things, though. You said you could see it clear as day, and those are the things that I think are really special about sharing stories like this. It brings you back to a special time. So you've been picking leeks since you were little.
can't. Oh, yeah.
You pick them to this day, but you don't just pick them in the spring, do you?
No. A lot of people think that you can only pick leeks whenever they start coming out of the ground. That is not true.
So how do you do it?
When the leek goes to seed, it'll grow a long stem, about 12 to 14 inches long.
Uh-huh.
And on the top of that stem is a bunch of seed pods. And if you know what that looks like, you can go out in the wintertime and they'll be sticking up out of the ground, those long stems. Then you dig at the base of them stems, you'll find the leeks.
Those would probably be really, really strong at that time, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And have you ever gone out and tried to do it all
Yep.
seasons?
I did. I told the wife a number of years ago, I said, just for the heck of it, I'm going to go out at least once a month just to prove that you can pick leeks anytime. And I did.
You did?
For the whole year.
For the whole year, so
Now,
12 months.
Sometimes I didn't come back with very many because the ground was frozen.
Sure.
But at least I said I came back with leeks.
Yeah, and so if you love leeks this much, you must eat them.
Oh, yeah.
How do you prepare them?
They're good in anything in my book. Scrambled eggs are good on pizza, dip. The wife tonight made a soup out of ham and potato, leek soup. That was delicious.
Yes, that's a great combination for sure.
Just about anything you want to put them on, you can put them on.
So you go out, you dig the leeks, and then one of the things we haven't talked much about in the series has been cleaning them, and that's quite a process. What's your way of doing that?
The best way that I learned, my dad told me, and it's beautiful. I mean, you get them potato sacks or any kind of sack that's a mesh bag, like oranges.
Oh, yeah.
Come in, save them, dig your leeks, put them in that, and then you can go to a stream and dunk them in the water, and it washes all the dirt off of them.
What a great idea. So then when you bring them home, they're already mostly clean.
Yeah, you just have to cut the roots off of them, and run them under some water. And
That's such a great tip. So one of those mesh potato bags or orange bags.
Yeah.
Just bring that, put it in
Onion
your
bags,
pocket.
you know.
Yeah, that has a little bit of that
The mesh.
mesh to give the water a chance to come through.
Yeah.
That's such a great idea. And as far as tools go, what would you say are your must-haves?
I use, and I've had this thing for years. It's a miniature matic. It has a blade on one end and a pick end on the other, but it's small. And it has a long, handle's about 20 inches long, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Because if you get into the rocky area, you can flip it in your hands and use the pick end to get into the rocks, and the blade end, will help bring them up. And
that they can be pretty tough sometimes.
Those
roots can be pretty deep. So that sounds like a really valuable tool.
Yeah.
So I know that you've gone out every month for a year before, but this is the season, really. We're coming into the season where they're really sprouting and blooming. And
I was out just this past Friday.
Okay.
Good Friday.
Yeah.
And they already have 4 to 5 inches of green on them.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask you. So how many, like this time of year, how many do you think you usually come back with when you go out?
Oh my God. A lot.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been out 4 times already. I was out a month ago.
Okay.
The beginning of March, I was out.
Already starting to look, huh?
And I'd come home with a bag full.
Did you really?
But it takes a lot more when you dig them when they're that small to fill up the bag than it does now.
That's a good point. Who do you go out with these days?
Myself.
Just by yourself?
Yeah.
Are you
My boy used to go with me, but he's in the service and he's serving our country. So.
Wow, that's really respectable.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he, probably is wishing he could be with you sometimes doing this Leek things. I like that you did that with your dad and he did it with you.
Yeah.
That's a really special thing to pass down. Yeah. Okay, so you go out there, you dig the leeks, you wash them off in those bags in the stream, you bring them home, cut off the roots. Mm-hmm. Do you store them in any way, or do you use them
I put them in. The ones I'm going to eat within a few days, I'll just put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the refrigerator.
Okay.
I have put them in vacuum seal bags and vacuum sealed them, and then just threw them in the freezer.
Okay, all right. And then you can use them any time of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever eaten them raw?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Do you really?
One of my traditions is now, I lost my dad in 2012, and usually the first time I go out, I'll dig some leeks and then I'll set on a stump or something and I'll eat one in, his memory.
So sweet. Oh my gosh, that gives me chills. I love that. That's a great way to honor your dad and the memory of your time together out in the woods.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah.
Where do you feel like the best leeks grow? You don't have to give specifics, but in general.
McKean County.
Yeah, even though you're not in McKean County.
Even though I've dug them in Potter County and I've dug them in McKean County, and by far McKean County has the most leeks that I've ever seen.
I do think we have a good climate for it.
And this is something funny, is I grew up in Emporium, Cameron County. You'll play heck trying to find them in Cameron County. They just don't grow.
Huh.
And I don't know why. The soil or whatever, maybe the mountains, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this is a selling point then. McKean County has the best leeks around.
Absolutely.
According to Phil, and we know you're the expert here, so.
I've been in places where that's all you see is green leeks.
Yeah.
You can't walk without stepping on them.
Yeah. Well, that's really great. And you were sharing earlier that there's a couple different types of leeks in this area.
Yeah. There's a lot of people don't know this. There's actually a male and a female leek. And if you look close down near the bulbs of the leeks, some of them are purple, and some of them are just pure white. And the purple, I believe, is the male leek, and the white is the female.
That is so interesting. I had never heard that before. Yeah. So, see, they called the right guy for the job tonight. Yeah. Well, Phil, it's been really great talking to you. Is there anything else that you'd want to share before we wrap up? Geez,
I can't think of anything. Eat leeks.
Eat leeks.
I will share this. I used to get kicked out of school for 3 days for going to school with leeks on my breath.
No, you would not.
Yes.
I've heard rumors about that,
Yes.
but I've never talked to someone that happened
Yes,
to.
that actually would happen to me.
So you would eat leeks.
Yeah, because fishing season's in.
Yeah.
I wanted to go fishing. I didn't want to go to school. I wanted to go fishing. So I'd eat a handful of leeks before I got on the bus, and I'd get sent up to the office, And,
No way.
oh yeah.
What would they say in the office to
Well, I happen to know the vice principal was pretty. We were pretty good friends.
Yeah.
And he used a few cuss words, and he would tell me, he says, if you think I'm sending you home for 3 days, so he says I want to be with you to go fishing. He says, but I can't. I got to be in here and go to work. And he says, you're gonna stay in here and go to school now. Get back to class.
That's really funny.
And I'd go back to class, and the teacher would look at me, and he would go, well, what are you doing here? And I said, you go talk to Rich. He won't send me home.
Yeah. You must have smelled pretty potent then.
Yeah. I mean, there was times I did, before all this, because he caught on to me.
Yes, that's what happened, huh?
Yeah.
So after year when it started happening,
me going home for 3 days, he finally figured out, hey, he's going home to go fishing.
That's really funny. Oh my god.
Then he quit sending me home, so then
there went your 3 extra days.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh my gosh. Well, that is funny. You must have a really strong palate to be able to eat those leeks raw, and enough so that you get sent home from school.
Oh yeah, you can always tell somebody to eat leeks.
You probably didn't even get bit by bugs then when you were out there fishing, because you had your natural repellent, huh? All right, Phil. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Not that I can think of. I mean.
Well, we appreciate you getting out of your lounge chair and making your way up to the depot tonight. We enjoyed hearing your stories.
Yeah, this is
so
fun.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I always love hearing stories about, especially how families are connected through special experiences like leek picking and cooking and all of those things. And this was a really great opportunity to hear from Phil tonight. So thanks for joining in and for listening to these stories tonight. I'm actually coming back really soon with some of the history of leek things in the area from members of the Historical Society. So stay tuned. We'll be popping back on here to go live again shortly. All right, talk to you soon.